Welcome to Tween Scratch Coding at the Ajax Public Library. I'm Larry Rosen. Thanks for joining me here today. I think we have someone in the waiting room already, and I'm just going to let them in and welcome them here today. Welcome. Hey. Hey, thanks for joining us here today. I'm glad you could be here. You haven't been to one of these before, right?
No, we've been to some.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm really glad you're here. My name is Larry, and you are?
I'm Keishagan. I'm Sakvi.
It's nice to meet you. We're going to do some coding. We're going to do some coding today, and I hope we're going to have a little bit of fun. And don't worry, there's no tests. We're just going to have a little bit of fun. Now it's almost 2 o'clock. I'm just going to wait another couple of minutes just to see if there's anybody else who wants to join us here today, because there might be others in there who want to learn about. Have you done Scratch coding before?
No.
You've not done it before? Okay. Okay, well, this is good because this is kind of an introduction. I'm going to tell you what it's all about, and then you can decide if it's something that might interest you or might not. I think it's going to interest you. Have you done the hour of code?
No.
No? Okay. All right. Let's look around. It is, it's almost 2 o'clock, and I think there might be one or two more who might join us. So get ready. You got your computer ready, and you got your popcorn, or no, it's not a movie. It's not a movie, but that's okay. We get to talk to you live in person, and we're going to do some coding. And just going to wait one more minute here, okay? And then we'll get started. Is it raining where you are?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it's raining here too. Actually, my power went out just before this started, so I'm glad that we got the power back up. And because otherwise you would have been looking at a blank screen. And that would have been embarrassing. No, just kidding. Okay. So we might get some late people, and that's okay. We'll just have them join in. I'll listen for the little bell, which tells me that someone is joining. But I'm going to share my screen so that you can see what I am doing. Okay. Are you able to see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So this is my PowerPoint presentation, and you can still see me, right?
Yeah.
If that little window is in the way, you can drag it to a different location if you want. If it's not in the way, don't worry about it. But you can move that little window where you are and where I am at the top. You can just drag it if you want. So I need to tell you, this Zoom event is going to be recorded, and it will be on our Ajax Public Library's YouTube channel for future viewing. If you do not want to have your video in this, let me know, and we can turn off the video part. So then we just have audio. Are you okay with that? Do you want to ask your parents, are you okay if I record this? I'm recording it. It's okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I just wanted to make sure that everybody understands. So that's me. Okay. So my name is Larry, and I'm going to walk you through some fun coding. Okay. You've used Zoom before, right?
Yeah.
you know there's two different types of view. There's a view where I'm really big and the others are really small. And then there's another view where there's everybody in small, and you can choose,
Yeah.
you know how to choose the difference?
Yeah.
Okay. Which is your favorite, speaker or gallery?
I like gallery.
Gallery, okay. Me too. Because then you can see everybody. Okay, if you need to stop the video temporarily, do you know where the stop video button is?
Yeah.
Okay, and you'll still be connected, but if you have to temporarily, for a little bit, if you need to turn that off, go ahead, and I'll still hear you in the audio. You can also turn off the microphone if you want. That's where you do it, at the bottom left corner. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So let's learn a little bit more about Scratch. Okay. So Scratch. What is Scratch? Scratch is a programming language where you get to create your own stories, games, and animations. So you will be creating a little video with a cartoon character, and we tell you what to do. Sorry, you're going to tell the cartoon character what to do. Now, in this case, we're going to be doing Pong. So it's really not a cartoon character, it's a ball, and the ball is going to be bouncing around, and we're going to tell the ball where to bounce. Okay, because you're actually going to be a programmer, and you're going to be able to do this. Okay. So do you have to know programming to use Scratch? Not really. It's just logic. So if you want your character to move 5 spaces to the right, you would just tell your character, move 5 spaces to the right. And how you do that? You don't do that by programming and typing in everything. You do that by moving little blocks. So there's a move block, and you'll say, move that block, and you drag it over. And then once you drag that block over, the block says, move 5 steps. And then the character moves 5 steps. So I think that's much easier than having to type everything. You just move blocks when you want to tell the character what to do. This is going to be easy, and I'm going to walk you through it. All right. And are you using Scratch on your tablet or on your laptop? Are you right now? Are you using it? Are you talking to me on a laptop or on an iPad?
Laptop.
Perfect. All right, because laptop is easier for this because there are less things that are hidden. You got a bigger screen, so everything's much more easier to see. We are going to be doing this in Firefox or Chrome. We don't use Edge when we're doing Scratch. It just seems to work better if you use Firefox or Chrome. And here's the other thing is that you don't have an account yet on Scratch, but that's okay. You can still do what I'm going to show you. You can still do it, but the only difference is you won't be able to save anything until you create an account. And just a couple of quick final notes before we get started. How do you stay in a Zoom meeting when you want to do the coding with me? If you want to do that, then the best way to do that is well, you actually don't have to do this exactly when I'm doing it. You can just watch what I'm doing and then do it afterwards if you want. If you want to do it while I'm doing it, you have to split your screen. And that means that Zoom would be on the left side and Scratch would be on the right side. Is that something you want to do, or do you just want to watch me for now?
We'll watch you.
Pardon?
We will watch you.
You watch me? Okay. Okay, and it's okay because actually, and you don't have to remember anything because when you're ready to do this, I'm going to show you a website where it has the instructions right there while you're doing it. Okay, so you don't have to remember anything. Okay, this is just to have some fun. Okay, and everybody goes at their own pace. Don't worry about it. If I'm going a bit too fast, you tell me, okay, and I'll slow down because you're the boss. All right, let's do this. I am going to go now to, I'll stop sharing for a second. There we go. All right. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go right into Scratch because that's what we're doing. We're doing Scratch coding. So I'm going to go right there now. Okay. So this looks pretty complicated, but it's not because all we're doing is we're going to create a new game, and the game is called Pong. Have you ever heard of Pong? Okay. Pong, I'm just going to click the word create here. And this is going to give us a blank screen and then we're ready to go. Now Pong, here's how Pong works. I'm just going to stop share for a minute just so I can show you what Pong is. Pong is a little ball, and the little ball on the screen is going to go all over the place. And then you're going to have a little paddle at the bottom, and it's going to go like this. And while the ball is moving, you're going to make sure that the ball doesn't go beneath. Because if the ball goes beneath, the game is over. So we have to program the ball to go all over the place, all random places. And we also have to program the little paddle. And you're going to move that with your right arrow key and your left arrow key. Do you see that on your computer? That's how you're going to move the little paddle back and forth. When while you're doing that, the ball is going to be doing this. And you have to make sure when the ball hits, it doesn't, you have to hit the paddle because if you miss, the ball's going to go right down. Does that kind of make sense? Okay, that's what we're doing today. I hope it's not too complicated. I'm going to make it as easy as possible for you. Here we go. I'm going to share the screen once again. And you can see what I'm doing. Do you both see the little cat? All right. So that's a character that we could program, but we're not programming that character today. We're going to replace him with a little ball. In another time we may program that cat to do different things. You can make him walk, go jump, speak. But today we're just doing Pong. All right. So the first thing we have to do is that white background is kind of boring, isn't it? We have to change that background. So to change the background, if you look down here, there are two buttons at the bottom right corner. One says choose a sprite and one says choose a backdrop. So this little cat is called a sprite. All the characters that we create are called sprites. We don't want to choose a sprite right now. We want to choose a backdrop. So we're going to click on this little guy right here, choose a backdrop. And then when we do, you're going to see all kinds of choices. of backdrops. Do you see anyone you like? I'm scrolling down a little bit so you can see some more. Which one would be good for this Pong game where the ball is going kind of like this and you have a paddle that's going like this? What do you think about this neon tunnel one?
Yeah.
Would that be good? Let's see how it looks. So I'm going to click it. Aha! Now I'm going to move the window here. We now have a background. That was pretty easy, eh?
Yeah.
Okay. Just checking one thing. All right. Okay. So now we have our background, but we don't want to use the cat. We want to use a ball. So these two buttons here, there's the one. Oh, is that backdrop? No, that is choose a sprite. That's the one we want. We want to choose a sprite. So I'm going to click that, and it's going to give us some choices of sprites. Oh, look at that. All kinds of choices. Now, for future, we'll be able to choose any one of these you want. But for now, I'm looking for a ball. Do you see the ball?
Yeah, there's a normal ball and a basketball.
Okay, we're going to choose this regular one right here, this ball. So I clicked it. And the ball is now there, but it's on top of the cat. Now, we don't need the cat for this session. So I'm going to get rid of the cat, and here's how you do it. Do you see? Now we have a cat sprite here, and we have a ball sprite. The cat was already there, but we're not using the cat. So see that little trash can right next to the cat here?
Yeah.
I'm going to click it, and the cat goes away. Okay. Now we've got our ball, and we removed the cat. Now, we have to make the ball bounce. All right. How do we make the ball? Now, we want this ball to be bouncing forever, forever and ever and ever. Now, you see these little blocks here on the left-hand side? If I wanted this ball to move 10 steps, all I would do is drag this little move. It says move 10 steps. I would drag it here. If I did that, and then I pressed the green flag, oh, it didn't work. It didn't work because every time you always have to start with the green flag, and I forgot to put the green flag in. So I'm going to do that right now. The green flag, all of these are coded, color coded, and each one's do different things. So where's the green flag? I think it's an orange. There it is. When the green flag is clicked. So I'm going to drag that here. When the green flag is clicked, move 10 steps. So here's the green flag. Let's see if it works. It moved. I'm going to click it again. It moved. Click it again. It moved. So this is, you're actually, when you do that, you're programming. So I don't want this. I just wanted to show you how that worked, but now I'm going to take the move off by just dragging it. And I'm going to put it back by just dragging it over there. And now it's back. We want this one to stay because that starts everything when green flag clicked. So we want this ball to bounce around forever. So we have to look for one of these that says forever. Forever. Do you see anything that says forever?
No.
let's look on the left. What about this guy right here?
Yeah.
Thank you. All right, so I'm going to drag this one over here and put it until it clicks. Now, you see that it's blank in the middle? There's a white space in the middle. That means that any block that we put in the middle is going to go on forever and ever and ever. So we have to put some more blocks in there where it says forever. And whatever's inside that is going to just keep doing it and keep doing it. So what do we have to put? We want the ball to move 15 steps. Now, I saw that move one. Was it what color was that? Move, was it purple or let me think. Let's see. Let's see if it was purple. Move, no. Let's see if it was this purple. Oh no, that's purple, that says sound. So those are all the sound blocks. We don't want to make it sound yet. Was it blue? Blue, was there a move? Do you see it? There it is. Okay, move. So we want the ball to move. So I'm going to drag this right into where it says forever. But I don't want it to move 10 steps. I want it to move 15 steps. So I'm going to click where it says 10 and change it to 15. And now, what's going to happen? Let's find out. I'm going to click the green arrow. Huh! Move 15 steps, but when it hit the edge, what happened?
It stopped.
It stopped, so we have to fix that, and we can fix that with another block. So we have to find a block that says, if it's on the edge, bounce. So let's look for that. It sounds like it might be a moving kind of block. Let's see. Do you see anything that says edge or bounce or?
No.
You see it?
No.
What about this one right here?
Yeah.
I'm going to drag that and put it right here. And then click the green flag. Look what it's doing. When it hits the edge, it bounces.
Yeah.
So it moves 15 steps and it keeps moving because it says it's in the forever loop. And if it's on the edge, then bounce. But that doesn't make sense because what we want the ball to kind of go all over the place, right? We don't want it to go like this.
Yeah.
So we have to add one more block. See, this ball doesn't know what it's doing. We have to tell it everything. So if we want the ball to move at a different angle, we need to point it in a different direction. So let's look for a point in a different direction. I think I see it already. Do you see it? Point in direction. Do you see it on something we can drag?
No.
What about this one?
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm going to drag that and I'm going to put that one right under the flag here. I'm going to press the stop button. So I'm going to change that direction to 45 degrees because I don't want it to go like this. I kind of want it to go. So let's see what happens when I press the green arrow. Are you following me?
Yeah.
Is it kind of making a little bit of sense?
Yeah.
It's not too difficult, I hope. But see, the great thing is you get to go and experiment and try things. And sometimes it'll work, sometimes it won't. All right. So you're doing really good. Thank you for sticking with me. Now, I'm going to stop it. We're pressing this stop one right there. Now, we need to add a paddle. So a paddle is a sprite. So do you know how we add the sprite?
In the corner.
Thank you. And it's one is the backdrop. We don't want a backdrop. We want a sprite. So I'm going to click it. And then here's all our sprites. And rather than browsing and looking all over, we can just, there's a search bar, and I'm just going to type in paddle. There it is, paddle. I'm going to click it. There's our paddle. Now, you notice that paddle is highlighted, but look, it's all blank here. There's nothing there. We just coded everything and now it's gone.
Yeah.
But it's not really gone. It's because the paddle doesn't have any code yet. But if I click on the ball right down here, there's our code. If I click on the paddle, it goes away because we haven't put in a code yet for the paddle. All right, so I want this paddle to go, I'm just going to drag it here because this is the thing that's going to go like this so that you'll stop the ball from going down. So we've got our paddle sprite, but we now have to tell the paddle, to, whenever you move your mouse, the paddle is going to move along with it. Okay, I think earlier I said it was going to be the right and the left arrow, but we're going to do this with the mouse. So we're going to start off with when green flag clicked. So where's that? I think it's an orange one for, I'm going to click orange. And do you see the green flag one?
Yeah, it's at the top.
Thank you. I'm going to drag that one out because that's the first one. So remember, the paddle is highlighted. That's what we're putting in right now. And now we want the paddle to be forever. We need a forever one because whenever you move your mouse, it's going to move with it. So that's forever. So let's look for that forever one. And I think that was an orange one too. Let me see. Let's see. Do you see the forever?
Yeah.
Thank you. There it is. All right. So I'm going to drag that one out and make sure it clicks. And now we have to put something in the middle. And this one you won't know, but I'm going to tell you, whenever you want something to stick, oh, sorry. Whenever you want something to stick to the mouse, you have to go to something called set. Set. Where's the set button? Set is there we go. Set X to minus 196. Oh, did I make a mistake? Let me see. Set X to, yeah. Okay, so this doesn't make sense yet, does it? But we're going to fix that. We have to get it so that it's, see, X means this way and Y means that way. So we have to set the X so that X is mouse. So we have to look for something that says mouse. And I think I see that right there, mouse. So I'm going to drag that right in here. All right. Did that work? I'm going to press the green flag and see. I am moving this paddle with my mouse. Okay, so it was just two blocks. We needed the forever block and we needed the set X, which X is always this way and Y is always this way. So we said, whenever you see X, make it stick to the mouse X. So that's what we did. That was a little tough one, but don't worry about it. The more you do this, the easier it's going to get. The next thing we have to do is we have to, let's take a look at this for a sec. If I click the green and I'm putting the mouse here, it's not stopping the ball, is it? It's supposed to stop the ball, because if the ball hits the bottom, the game is over. So this paddle still isn't working yet, is it? We need to do a little bit more programming to make sure whenever the ball senses that it hits the paddle, that it goes the other way. So to do that, we have to select. Right now the paddle is selected, so we have to select the ball by clicking right here. This is the code that we did before for the ball to make it go like this. We already did that, but now we have to add a little bit more code so that when the ball senses that the paddle is there, the ball will go up. Okay, so this is another one where we have to start it off with a green flag. When the green flag is clicked, that was an orange one. I remember that. So I'm going to click the orange ball here. There it is, and we're creating another code right here. So I'm just going to put it right over here. This is another code for the ball. See this code right here, that tells the ball to move around forever. This code that we're creating right here is going to tell the ball when it hits the paddle to not keep going. So we need that forever loop, and that was an orange one, I think. The orange, there it is, forever. Excuse me. All right. So if the paddle is touching the ball, what do we want to happen? We want the ball to go the opposite direction. So if the paddle is touching the ball, then, if then, we have to look for something that says if then. That, I believe, is in the orange. Let's go, I'm going to click Control. Do you see anything that says if then? Looks like there's two of them, eh? This one here says if then, and this one here says if then else, but we just want the if then. So I'm going to drag this one and put it right into the forever. Okay, do you remember? So this is why we're doing if then, because if the ball hits the paddle, then something happens. So if the ball is touching the paddle, that's the first thing we have to ask ourselves. If the ball is touching the paddle, so do we have a block that says if it's touching the paddle? Let's look in the blue section. Well, first let's look in the purple section. Oh no, purple, that was sounds. We don't want sounds. Motion, we don't want motion. We're not telling the ball to do anything. We already did that. We want, if it's touching, touching. So touching means sensing. So that's this one right here, the light blue one, touching. Oh, we've got something here. If the ball is touching the paddle, that's what we want. This one looks like it could be close. It says touching mouse pointer. So I'm going to drag this one right here. See where it's highlighting? But we don't want if the ball is touching the mouse pointer. We want if the ball is touching the paddle. So look at the arrow. You can choose a different one. I'm going to click this little arrow right here and choose paddle. If the ball is touching the paddle, so we're getting there. If the ball is touching the paddle, we have to turn it around. So that's a motion thing now. So motion, that's a blue. That's in the blue section. So turn. Oh, there's one. Turn. Yeah, if it's touching the paddle, I'm going to drag turn. But I don't want 15 degrees. I want 180 degrees because I want it to go in the opposite direction. So I'm going to click on 15 and just type in 180, enter. And then once it turns in the other direction, then I want it to move 15 steps, just like before. So I'm going to drag the move right underneath. And that's 10 steps, but I want 15. So I'm going to change that to 15. And then finally, I'm going to have it wait for just 0.5 seconds right afterwards. And you're going to see what's going to happen. 0.5. Okay, so do you remember before the ball was moving around and when it hit the paddle, it just kept going? Let's see what happens now when I press the green flag. Is it working? What do you think?
It's working.
It is absolutely working. And it's because you are helping me. And thank you. This is really good. So did you see what I did here? Forever. And then if the ball is touching the paddle, turn 180 degrees, move 15 steps, and then wait a half a second. That's what it's doing. When it touches the paddle, goes in the opposite direction. And when you're doing this, you can play around with the numbers. Maybe you'll choose different numbers. Some it'll work, sometimes it won't. You guys are doing great. All right. Are we done? Almost. But we have to add a score because you want to keep track of how good you're doing. So to keep a score, we have to, the score changes all the time. And that's called a variable. And so there's a section here called variables. And there's a little button here called make a variable. So I'm going to make a new variable by clicking this button up here, and I'm going to call it score. I'm going to just type in score. Do you see what happened when I did that?
Yeah.
We have our score now. But there's something else we have to do, because every time the paddle hits the ball, we have to make the score go up by 1. Okay, to do that, we have to, just give me 1 second here. Okay, so let's go back to the screen. So in the variables section, we have to create something that changes the score whenever the paddle hits the ball. So look here, there's something that says change my variable. So I'm going to drag this one out here, change my variable. But I didn't call it my variable, I called it score. So let's look at this drop down, see if it finds it here. Ah, there it is. Score. I'm going to click it. Change my score by 1. So where does that go? Where do we put this in the blocks? So if the ball is touching the paddle, what if I put it here? So if the ball is touching the paddle, first thing that happens is the score goes up by 1. And then it does the rest of the things. Let's see if that works. I'm going to press the flag right now. I'm moving the paddle with my mouse. Is the score going up whenever the ball touches?
Yeah.
I like it when things work. And so did you see how I did that? I said change score by 1. If the ball is touching the paddle, then change score by 1. That's so easy. Okay. But if I've started to play again, it doesn't go to 0. It just keeps giving me more. So that's not good. So we have to add one more block that says start the game at 0. Because every new game you have to start it at 0, right? To start it at 0, we have to set the score to 0. Do you see anything that says set score to 0 or something similar to that I can add? What about this one right here? Let's try this one. And I'm going to put this one right here so that that's the first thing that happens. But it says set my variable. I don't want it to say my variable. What do I want it to say?
Score.
Thank you. Yes, score. There it is. Score. Now, did it work? I put it right up here because that's the first thing that I want to happen before that forever stuff happens. So I'm going to press this green flag and watch and see if the score starts at 0.
Yeah.
It did. You guys are amazing. All right. Okay. The last thing we have to do is that if I just kept doing this, this could go on forever. But if I miss and the ball hits below the paddle, the game has to end. But it's not ending. It just keeps. So we have to put a line below the paddle so that if the ball hits the line that's below the paddle, the game is over. All right. So that's another sprite. We have to add a line sprite. And you know how we add sprites, right? That's this guy right here. I'm going to click it. And we have to look for something that says line. We could scroll and see if we could find it that way. Or we could just type in line. There it is, line. I'm gonna click it. There's our line, but it's way too high. So I'm gonna drag it right to the bottom. So that when the ball hits the red line, game is over. So let's see if it worked. I'm going to press the green flag. Here we go. And I'm going to miss and watch the ball. It didn't work. You know why?
Why?
We didn't program the red line. So the red line doesn't know what to do. See, all these sprites, they just sit there. We have to tell it what to do. So we have to tell that red line that whenever the ball hits it, game is over. So to do that, we have to make sure that now we have 3 sprites. Look, we have the ball, we have the paddle, and we have, if I, this line, you'll notice that it's blank. That's because we have no code yet for the line. So I'm going to put some code in there right now. And we start off with the green flag block. And that's, I think it's orange. So I'm going to click the orange. No, I was wrong. It's this yellow one. When green flag clicked, that's what we usually start with. And we want this to be forever. It's just going to always happen. So where's our trusty forever? Forever, where are you? There it is. So I'm going to drag it out here. If the ball, sorry, if the line is touching the ball, then the game is over. Okay? If the line is touching the ball, then. So that's if then again, right? If the ball is, sorry, I keep saying that. If the red line is touching the ball. So if I'm saying if then, that means we need an if then. And let's look for our if then. If then, here it is. If then. Okay. If the red line is touching the ball, so we have to look for something to put in here. And we have to look for the word touching. Touching. Touching also means sensing. So this is one, this one right here is called sensing. So if I click sensing, do you see something that says touching the ball? Or something that's close to it? Touching. Do you see a touching one? How about this one right here? I'm going to drag that one right into, see where it's highlighting right there? I'm going to drag it right, it doesn't fit, but if I let go, then it fits. But I don't want it to touch the mouse pointer. I want it to touch the ball. So what have I done so far? If the red line is touching the ball, something has to happen. We want stop. Stop the game. It's over. So we have to look for a stop block. Is there a stop block, and what color would that be? Let's check green. Would it be green to stop? No, it doesn't look like it. What about orange? Seems to be a lot of orange. Oh, what about this one? Stop all. Here we go. I'm going to drag that one here. are you ready to test this out and see how you did? Because you guys helped me program this. I could not have done it without you. Here we go. I'm going to press green. So what should happen is that score should go to 0. Here we go. I'm moving my mouse. Whenever the ball senses the paddle, it goes in the opposite direction. The score is going up. Now, what happens when I miss? Game over. So tell me, what do you think? Is this something you would like to try?
Yeah. Yeah.
Excellent. Oh, good. I hope I explained it okay. I know it's going to take a little bit of time for you to figure out, but you get to go and have some fun doing something similar to this. You can, when you go on to this website, you can, the cat will be there, and you can program the cat. The first thing you can do is you can, when the green flag is clicked, move the cat move it 10, 20, whatever you want. And all you're gonna have a lot of fun. The website where you go, I'm just gonna show you where that is. The website, oh, there we go. See that at the top, scratch.mit.edu? That is the website you go to. And the first thing you want to do is get an account, because if you get an account, then you can save your work and come back to it later if you want. And if you do a search on that website for Pong, you will see the instructions on how to do that. All right? Did you have fun today?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I want to thank you for joining me here at the Ajax Public Library, and we're going to be doing this again soon, and I hope you'll join us again. We'll do a different Scratch project. And do you have any other questions or how I did something? Okay, thank you so much for joining me here today. I hope you have a great rest of the weekend and a great December, and stay safe.
Yeah. Bye. Thank you.
You're welcome. Oh, let me just do one more last. Okay. Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.